Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Y'all forgive me there. Give him a state of the art camera. Give my cell phone. State of the art camera. Speaking of the my YouTube course is up for pre-order. Link in the description. You'll see it say YouTube for beginners. For beginners. I'm still a beginner. You know, I don't do everything that other YouTubers do. You know, most YouTubers don't shoot with their cell phone, but I'm gonna share some insight with you on what I found on my YouTube journey so you can tweak and apply to yours. Got a question here. Now see, she put, hi Tony, my name is. So now I can say her first name. You don't know who she is. Everybody got the same name. But she either one thinking or she also understands that anonymity also means just a first name and not a last name because you don't know who that is. And if that's not a word that I said, forgive me, it just sounded good right there. I was in a 7-year long-term relationship with a man that didn't have all his finances in order. I helped him get on his feet. Fast forward, after helping him get on his feet, he got another woman pregnant. I'm African American and she's of Asian descent. He always talks down on women of color, but then he turns around and says he loves his black women. We are still in contact with each other. Help, Tony. I am confused and hurt. Listen, you're confused and hurt, but right now you also being dumb. Okay? And don't let that hurt you. But just in the literal sense of the word. Now, what you have to realize, you've already given him 7 years of your life. 7 years of your life. And you opened a Build-A-Bear store to build a man store. You remember the Build-A-Bear store where you go in there and you put your bear together and you pick all the clothes and all that? You had a Build-A-Man store. And the only thing you forgot to put in them was a heart. And that's why he did what he did, is because he's heartless. He's no good. Now, that's not your fault. It's just that it took you that long to see who he really is. So now that you see who he really is, now you can move forward. And the next man, you'll be able to see who he is in the first 12 months. It won't take you 7 years. So this is what you got to understand. Here goes some lesson from this right here. Never help a man with his finances, especially by giving him money or loaning him money. Also, if he went out and did it on his own, don't take credit for being there while he did it. Because if you put it on yourself and say, I helped him get on his feet, but he did it on his own and you just happen to be the woman he was talking to, then it's gonna hurt you worse. So give him what credit due if he got up and he did the work to change his life, even if you happen to be the woman in his life. Understand that. Now, if you did do it, now learn a lesson from that and understand that that's not your place or your position to teach a man how to live or to teach a man how to fish. He need to know how to do that from his parents or from his life in general. The other thing is, never be with a man in a long-term relationship, and this for you going forward and for everybody else watching this, never be with a man for more than 3 years. Don't ever spend more than 3 years of your life with a man that you're not married to. If at the 3-year mark, this man, and this applies if you 25 or older. So if you get with this man and you 28 and you done been with him since 25 and he has not married you, move on with your life. Move on with your life. And the reason why I say that is because it does not take a man that long to know that a woman is his wife. A man will know if you are his wife in the first year. A man who loves you and sees you as his wife will not be afraid to be with you. He will be with you. And he won't be afraid to marry you. A man who loves you and sees you as his wife will not use finances as an excuse to not marry you. He will not use location or distance as an excuse to not marry you. He will not use age difference or what have you to not marry you. He will not use race or color difference to not marry you. A man who loves you and sees you as his wife. Nothing other than God himself can stand in front of that man from marrying you. Any other excuse that a man gives you, he does not see you as his wife. Point blank, period. Because love is too big and too strong and too powerful to be denied. When a man loves you, you will know it. You will feel it. With every fiber of your being, there will be no confusion. Love is or love isn't. He will do whatever, whenever, however he can to shower you and to show you his love. In every way that he's capable of showing love, he will do it. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you now. Y'all don't want to hear that. Trust me when I tell you now. Now, so 3 years is the max. And 3 years is the weekend max. This is what I've changed to because I have seen the naivete of women. I changed it to 3 years. Honestly, the real that y'all ain't ready for is 2 years. If a man ain't married you in 2 years, it's time to go. Gotta go. I stretched it to 3 years just because I started to see 3 years as more of an average. Is closer to the average of when men are ready to marry. But really it's 2 years. A man, no. Now, and even 2 years is 12 months more than when he knows if you're his wife or not. So understand that. Now, the other part when it comes down to you African American, she Asian. The problem with some men is that, especially black men, if you black and he's black, you African American, if he's African American, the thing about this is, the problem with some men is because of the state of black people, because of what black people come from in America, a lot of black men have been made to feel like trash. They feel like nothing. And so when you are made to feel like the bottom, then everybody else is higher than you. So when you look at Asians in America and you think about the Asians you know, unless you live in a certain area, most people know Asians to be to have money and to be like business owners, like they own their own restaurant or they own some kind of business. Like most of us in America, when Asians come from China or whatever part of Asia to America, they come for a reason. They come with a plan and a purpose. And that's the only reason to come over here, because, you know, a lot of places in Asia doing better financially than America. So a lot of times when anybody migrates to America, they come with a plan and a purpose. And that's why you see the difference between African Americans and even islanders in a lot of cases, and even Africans, Asians, and then the islanders. A lot of times you'll notice that those individuals may be more driven or more focused, like, hey, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a pharmacist, you know, own your business, come with a dream and a plan, because you crossing the waters to come to this country. So you ain't coming to play around. Whereas African Americans were born here after being brought here, was brought here by force. And that's why some people try to correlate slavery in the islands to slavery in America. It's not the same. Yes, I know that there were slaves in the islands, but if you come from the islands, you come into a new place to live and to dream. You're not living in the same land and looking at your slave masters like an African American. There's a difference. So if African Americans had somewhere to escape to that is seen as better than where they are, then African Americans would be doing that and would be going with the same mindset that a lot of other races and people from other countries come to America with. Because when you go somewhere, you got to remember, just like writing down your goals. If you write down your goals and you make a plan, you're going to be more effective than people who just living day by day going through the motions. So when I say people who come here don't have the same type of mentality as an African American, it's because African Americans in America was treated the worst and were debased and made to be less than. And then even people who are of color but come from other countries, the whites could see them, yes, you still black, but you're not a black American, so your mindset is different because you come from another country. And you can, in certain situations, not every situation, but in certain situations, be valued more, paid more, and respected more. And then you're going to have situations where you treated just as bad, if not worse, because of your accent or skin color. So it's always exceptions to the rule. And everybody have their own story. And it's not no one size fits all. But in a case with these black men who are loving, and see, by your name, you could be a white woman. I don't know. No, you're a black woman. By your name, you got a standard name. So on a job application, you'll do fine. Now, when you're dealing with a black man and he know you're a black woman, he sees you at the bottom with him. A black man sees a black woman until he's educated. Now, I'm speaking on average. Now, understand, I ain't saying every. I'm not saying every. So pause now. Why you? Because some of y'all come here with the spirit of the devil in you, and you're just trying to find a hole so you can argue because you're mad that a young black man got a platform. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. Okay, now listen to me and understand the heart of what I'm trying to say. A black man, and when I say this, I'm talking on average. I'm not talking every single man. Sees a black woman as less than him. The reason why that is because in America, in the beginning, where we had the Native Americans, which America tried to erase their history to a large degree, that was already here. Then you had the people come over here and take the land. Trick them, kill them, murder them, try to take their land. Then you have people what we call white, but they're not American either. They don't come from America. They weren't here. But they took the name of American and say, now we American. This America. We America. This our land. And what we call white. They did a deal with Africa. Hey, sell us some of your people. Sell us some of your degenerates. Because, see, there was slavery in Africa, too. Read the Bible. What you think Egypt was? Over there in Egypt, too. What you think Moses was going to do? Deliver the slaves from Pharaoh. So, hey, sell us some of your people over here now. All right, boom, here you go. Here go a little money from them. Bam, bam, bam. So now, Africa, which we don't know what color the Africans was who sold the Africans to America. We could guesstimate, read a history book, but that's just what somebody telling you. God ain't write your history book unless you're reading the Holy Bible. And so now we come over here, brought over here. A lot of us died on the way over here. Then some of us along the way was intertwined with some white. I got some white in me. I know it. That's why, some are struggling with my hairline. That's why, my sister hair the way it is. My daddy hair the way it is. That's why on my daddy's side, a lot of the males have hazel eyes. And hazel eyes is not a common thing in African people. So when you go to Africa, you don't just see a bunch of hazel eyes with the blacks of Africa. So that let me know it was some genetic mixing somewhere along the way in my lineage. And so a lot of the men on my dad's side, my uncles, some of my cousins have hazel eyes. That could hazel or gray or green or what color. And so it was some mixing in some strands somewhere. So now here we are, still black though. could have something else in me, some French that could be seen as white, even though it's French, skin color, genetics, different. And so now you take dark brown eyes, you mix it with blue eyes or green eyes, and that may create hazel eyes. It's a mixing of the people. So now that's why we come to America, and now we in America, and that's why in America you have colorism. And that's why you'll see different people treated differently because of their skin color, because of their eye color, because of their hair texture. Is people being treated differently based on these factors. This is a real thing. So this black man that you're dealing with, because the Asians most in America typically come from money, have money, and are business owners, restaurant owners, store owners, doctors, what have you. He sees Asian as better than black, because the Asian was able to come to America and given land. Here is Chinatown. Here is Japantown. Here go your town. Where do we have in America African town? It might be somewhere, but it ain't in every state that you like. When you go to different places, we don't have black town. Yeah, you might call that Atlanta, but still. But so now, given land, we want some of y'all to come on over here. Some of y'all Asians, y'all come on over here. Y'all help build our economy. Y'all do these businesses. We're going to give you a land to where everything down here, the street signs, everything is in your original language. There's nowhere in America that you go down and it's blocks after blocks after blocks that it's in an African language from where they pulled us from in Africa. So the Asian was placed above the African in America because the African was the slave in America, not Asians. We don't have Asian slave history in America. And just like what I tell the islanders, yes, y'all were slaves, but not in America. Y'all were slaves over there. And then you come from Jamaica or from Grenada or from Trinidad and Tobago or from wherever to America, because your family said it's better in America than it is over here where we are. It's more opportunity there. So you came to a land of opportunity. For black Americans who were born here, this was never seen as a land of opportunity. We didn't see it like that. We didn't know it like that. And that's why we doing the worst. That's why it's us black Americans who buying all jewelry instead of buying land, because of the way we see the world, because of what we come from. We were never on the outside looking in. Whereas people from other countries, you had the opportunity to be on the outside, look in, hear about the problems, see the pitfalls of black Americans, and then your family lineage comes with a plan. So my wife is Jamaican, but her dad and mother came to America from Jamaica to go to college. A lot of black Americans don't even think about college. A lot of black Americans never go to college. They came from Jamaica to go to college. Her mom got a degree. Her daddy got a degree. Her daddy ended up becoming a patent attorney and came from Jamaica. But he came with a vision, a dream, and a plan. He looks Indian. He is of Indian descent, even though he's from Jamaica. That's why my wife's skin is lighter than mine. Her mama is my color, or probably a shade darker, but her daddy is a Indian Jamaican. So that's give her skin color, where she is a black woman, but it's actually a mix of African and Indian through Jamaica, from Jamaica. Jamaican is not a race. Understand? Y'all understand? A lot of people don't understand that. Okay? That's a nationality. And so now in America, you have black men who feel like the bottom of the totem pole, who feel like nothing, and black men hating our own skin. So therefore, because so many black men hate our skin color, that then in turn makes us hate our own race, our women. I believe I read one of the gentlemen, I can't remember which one of the rappers, said that he was embarrassed being black. He hated being black and wished he was white. And if I'm not mistaken, he has a white girlfriend. And that is the case a lot of times with black men who date outside of their race. They're looking for something that is different than them and something that is seen as better than them because they have been made to feel less than. Whereas and it happens all around, but if you notice, a lot of times you will see African men be with an African woman, even in America. And it's a lot of times because, and even island men, a lot of times will be with the woman from their island and of their color. And it's because although they were slaves, some of them come from slavery too, they still have their identity and their culture. Black Americans were Africans. And so the culture was stripped. So when Jamaicans or any other island say, well, blacks, y'all ain't got no culture. We got callaloo, we got saltfish and ackee, we got curry chicken, we got this, we got that. All that come from whatever other, it come from Africa too. Come from India, come from whoever coming through that island. It's an island. They were people on the boat coming from over here. They bumped to this island. Oh, let's do something here. People mixing cultures. And so now you create a culture. You create an identity. Black Americans coming from Africa. All identity stripped at the shore. No more language. No more of your food. No more of this. So now Black Americans being African, no identity, start to hate yourself down the line. The first people who landed probably were strong and wanted to keep their identity, and it's probably why a lot of them got killed, because they were strong. They were strong-minded. But it's like, okay, man, I done work you. You want to be strong-minded, but I done work you. You done did all this cotton for me. You done had 10 children because all you doing to relieve yourself is getting you an orgasm with your woman. So now you done gave me 10 kids. Now I'm finna blow your brains out because now you 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old. You too old now. However old it was. So now a lot of them black men, they kill the fighters, the one who want to escape, the ones who want to get free. A lot of them kill. But now you done already had your kids now. So now they got the women and now they got the children. So now that's why the later generations, with each generation, the race gets weaker. Because now it's more brainwashed. So now the grandkids don't have the mental fortitude of the strength of the granddaddy who was dropped off from Africa, who was brought from Africa. That grandchild may be like, man, I hate being black because we can't even go to school. We can't even read. I'm out here picking all this cotton. Man, I want to be white. Scrubbing skin, everything. Trying to get the slave master daughter to do a little something for him. Because he just like, man, if I get her pregnant, he ain't going to kill his daughter. So I just get brought into the family. I get to live in the house. Just so that happens sometimes. You see what I'm saying? And then there was others of us, black people, that got in the house because the slave master saw something. Slave master say, my goodness, I ain't never seen a butt like that. And she has no stomach. And I'm over here with Lindsay. She around here getting stomach on her. She got no butt on her. What did you call her? Number 151? What's her real name? Olatawanda? Olatayande? Listen, 151, come here. So now the slave master, he done got tired. He done grabbed him some of them black women. He seen that black beauty, and he done got him some of them, and then now some of them black women pregnant. So now some of them black women pregnant. So guess what? Now that baby, she get to have that baby light skin. They then bring that baby in the house. Because, hey, this half of me. This my child. He said, hey, listen, look, the history books ain't gonna tell you all this. This is just common sense. Okay, and we see it. We see the lineage. We see how the colors start to change. This was happening. So then in all of this, it start to create colorism. It start, oh, you light skinned now, you gonna be a slave, but you gonna work in the house. You dark skinned, you still a slave, you working in the field. Okay, you's a slave, but I like your features. Hey, come on in the house. You serve plates too. You's a slave. I don't like your features. Get out there in the field. Right now. You see what I'm saying? This was happening. So when you see these black men who put other races of women on a higher platform, it's because he hates himself. It's because he hates himself. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. You know, it's different reasoning. So some people say, well, Tony, well, your wife is a little bit lighter skin. My wife was not intended to be my wife. And I tell my wife that too. When I saw my wife, I thought she was a Puerto Rican. So I was fixing to sleep with her because I love black women and I respect black women. So my girlfriend before my wife was darker than me. So I'm not a color. I was getting ready to do her dirty and then have to be dealing with the Puerto Rican men mad with me for dogging out one of their women. But what is Puerto Rican? That's a nationality. Puerto Ricans is African mixed with French, or African mixed with Asian, or African mixed with European, and was coming from one of them continents and bumped into Puerto Rico. And then Puerto Rico got the nerve to look down on black people. You black. You is black. Where you think that color come from? You half of y'all African and half of y'all Asian mixed with European. This is what this come from. Okay? America wasn't even no land. American is the Indian, the Native American. That's what American look like. Then you see what African look like. You see what European look like. You see what Asian look like. What's the other? Is it Antarctica? You see what I'm saying? So the different places have a predominant look, but then it mixes. So here you got Dominicans and Puerto Rican, and they like, some of them racist against black people, like, you black, you half black. Just because you don't see it, it come from 4 generations back, 5 generations back. You see what I'm saying? So all of this color and colorism, this all constructs of humans just trying to create some hierarchy. And then we made the lighter you are, the better. The darker you are, the worse. And so that's what's happening with a lot of these black men, is they hate themselves. They hate themselves. And so they intentionally choosing women that are lighter or of another race. So you have some women, some black men who choose a light-skinned black woman because he thinks light skin is better. He thinks light skin is better. Now, for me, my wife just turned out to be a wife. I tried her. I tried the one night stand her. She ain't give me none. She turned me down. I tried to dog her out. Thought I was finna yell at her. Thought I was finna lie to her. She shut everything down. So I'm like, wow. And then when she said, cause see, I'm from the South, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. This gonna hurt some people's feelings. It's gonna hurt some people's feelings. To the white women, please, forgive me. I'm being real with y'all, cause a lot of y'all people won't be real with us and tell us the truth. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. But my mama and my sister and them and my daddy and them, they was like, listen, you can't be with no white woman. Can't be with no white woman. We in the South, boy. We got Ku Klux Klan, like. And I remember my mama said to me directly, she might be ashamed of this, but she really ain't got no white homegirls like that that'll be offended. But my mama said to me, she said they get everything. They already got a better life. This already their country. And then they want to take our good men too. So the men with money or the men who look good, and my mama, she used to say, you got to realize you fine. She used to say that to me. And this is my mama now, but what she was saying is, you're a black man and you got a different look to you. Women are gonna see you as handsome. That white girl that you dating, that's the only reason why she wants you. Because you the star athlete in the whole county. You number one in the county and you're a handsome black man. So she don't want just an everyday black guy because she like black men. She want the best of the best. And my mama said, right now, you the best. Because I was number one in our county in football. And I was number 5 in our county in basketball. And I think like the 3rd largest county in the state of Florida. And so I was going to college on a full football scholarship. So here you have this white girl who, with the black boy, and she's a white girl with a booty. A lot of white guys did not like big booties on they women. The white boys, they like the more flatter butt, just a little poke, but just a little something, not what they call the ghetto booty. And then so she was being overlooked by her own. But black men will see her as a trophy because at being a white woman, she was forbidden fruit. Now listen, this is just a real channel. I know this too real for a lot of people, but it's just real, okay? That's all I could be. I can't be out here faking and pump faking and pandering for you. All right. I got to tell you the real honest truth behind this situation. So here I am dating white girls 10th grade. And when my mama told me that, and my daddy he said, man, she reminded me of Devil in a Blue Dress. I didn't know the movie. I think it's a Denzel Washington movie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oceania. That's a continent. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know 7 continent. Oceania. I ain't never heard of that. I know Antarctica. Now North America, South America. So South America. So you see, what's an original race? What is the original race? We don't know what color people was. They say Noah kids, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, that they named meant a different color. One was red, one was this, one was that, So we don't really know, and we fighting each other, killing each other over stuff that we ain't got no control of. Ain't nobody, parents, sitting in the doctor's office. Yes, I would like a pecan tan daughter. Okay. Okay, here's a shot. Your child's gonna be pecan tan. You got it. Nobody. The best option you got is to try to pick your partner if you trying to choose the color of the child. And you know why? It's a lot of people that want to dip into the black. It's a lot of people want to dip into the black because they want a pretty child. Because they think that mix is better. Because see, it's a lot of people who have fair skin, more pale skin, and they say, I don't like this skin. I get sunburnt. I stepped out in the sun 1 second, skin burnt. So let me get a little bit more black. Let me get a black man so my child have more melanin and I don't want him all the way black now. No, not all the way black, but I don't want him all the way white. I want him just right. So now a lot of people, they playing scientists with the child. So here's what it was. My daddy said, man, that girl remind me of Devil in a Blue Dress. I ain't know what that was. I need to watch the movie. And my mama, she said to me, listen, they get everything. Now they want to come get our best men too. And she said, son, you one of the best of the best. Out here, out of the boys available. And that's why she wants you. So I said, all right. I said, okay. And before that, and I remember my grandma, after that, I dated a white girl in college. My grandma called me. She said, baby, my grandma from Alabama. My grandma was born in 1925. When was Brown versus Board of Education? Let's look it up. Brown versus Board of Education was in 1954. So my grandma was 29 years old when the decision was made about schools being no longer segregated. Is that what that's about? Yeah. Segregation in public schools is unconstitutional, even if the segregated schools are otherwise equal in quality. And we was not separate and equal. We were separate and unequal. But Brown v. Board of Education started in 1952. It took them 2 years to get the result. May 17, 1954. My grandma was born in 1925 in Selma, Alabama. You know, in Alabama, it went down with black people. You know how black people were treated in Alabama and Mississippi. Them two right there, terrible. Okay? And my grandma called me. I was in college. She said, baby, I heard you up there dating white women. I say, yes, ma'am. She said, baby, please don't do it. Baby, please don't do it. Baby, they done been so bad to us. They done did us so wrong. Baby, I grew up in that. Baby, please. Please do not bring no white girl to my house. Oh, listen. What you supposed to do? The same thing? Because, see, I'm in a new generation, so I'm trying to say, oh, man, it ain't the same like that no more. Man, it ain't racism like that. It ain't. But that's the same thing the white grandparents were saying to their white granddaughters. So, two of the white young ladies that I dealt with in high school, one of them parents went to her and told her to tell me she couldn't be my girlfriend. The other one, daddy, went to my daddy and told my daddy that me and her couldn't date. See, we living and we like, man, racism, man, we trying to get beyond that, man. We trying to be like that, but the parents and the grandparents like, no, buddy, we still got a line. Yeah, buddy, we still got a line. Don't cross this here line, buddy, because we still hanging them high. Don't cross the line, buddy. And that's essentially what I heard. So after that, I said, a black woman. You hear me? Now, it wasn't that I was just choosing no white woman. It was like when I went to college, it was all white girls. It was a white school. It was a white school and it was only 1,600 people. And then we had about 30 black girls. And this was not a school you wanted to go to. So on the black girl side, the pickings was slim. It was really slim. Okay? And when I say the pickings was slim, the women weren't necessarily slim. And so just being a young man, 18, 19 years old, you kind of a little picky. I got to be honest. I was a little picky. I'm like, well, I'm kind of nasty. You know, I might want to pick her up. Like, man, I'm going to have to leave her for my homeboy because he a little stronger than me. I just going through my head like, man, she bigger than me. She taller than me. She weigh more than me. Like, it made me feel like less than a man. The sisters that was there, they was cool. They was nice. But as a man, we already feeling insecure because I'm 5'10". I come to find out, my family telling me I'm 5'9.5", my son. Because he's so worried about height right now because he ain't had his growth spurt. So he trying to make me shorter. I'm like, well, I'm 5'10". But they measured me with talking about 5'9.5". So already, I'm 2.5 inches under the cutoff because 6 foot or taller what women want. So, you know, here you go. This white woman, this white girl at the school, she see me in the library studying. She keeps staring at me. Then she come, you know, she get my IM message and she IMing me. And then we leave and she want a one night stand. This was a white woman. This was a white girl. And then the next night, hey, what you doing? Hey, what you doing? She kept bothering me. So eventually, I'm like, I'm at this school with 1,600 kids. I might as well just kick it with this person who keep writing me every night. And that's how that happened. It wasn't me going out and saying, oh, I hate myself, I gotta have a white girl. No, she told me. And then when I talked to her, she from there, West Virginia. She said, I've only went to school with 2 black guys in my life. So I was an experiment for her. And then there was another young lady, a white girl on the track team. She got my IM and she just sent me a message on IM. Come over. And that's all she wanted me to do. That's all she wanted me to do, to be the maintenance man. That's what she wanted me to do. And when we was out and about in public, like if I'm at the cafeteria and I'm walking past, she'll walk right past me, not even speak. This 2002, 2003, we in the new millennium. And she would not speak to me as a black man, but she wanted me to come over and do some plumbing randomly. And I'm like, wow. So that's how white women was using black men as dirt dangler. You a maintenance man. No, I can't take you home. No, I can't marry you. Give me some of that jungle bunny loving. That's really what it was. And then you have a few that really want to go all the way in. They really want to be with a black man, marry a black man for whatever reason. Typically, it was because they were not as attractive to white men. That's the honest truth. But it's hard to hear. But that was the honest truth. And then I talked to my white partner, my homeboy. I say, now see, when the white girl I knew from home, that daddy told my daddy we couldn't be together, she came to visit me in West Virginia. My little white teammates, a lot of them were racist. Boy, you hear me? N-word, all that. A lot of them was racist because they from up there. You know, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, you know, different little country parts, you know, little areas. And I remember one little guy, man, where'd you get her from? I said, man, she from Florida. She from my hometown. You know, she was my ex-girlfriend. We wasn't dating or nothing. She just wanted to come visit. So, and she came up there and gave me $100. A black girl had never given me $100. A black girl had never given me $20. Why? Because black people, we more so, where we come from poverty. So black girls ain't have no $100 to give, but the white girl, they was in a better situation because their parents had more money. So they could give the black guys $100, $200, $500. All the white girls at the college had a car. Really, none of the black girls had no car. Why? The difference in America. One coming from poverty, one coming from privilege. We don't want to confront that. And so when you got a black man who don't know who he is, he like, who? She got a car? She around here giving sloppy toppy? She around here buying the best gifts in the world? Man, I done made it. Woo! A lot of brothers, they went to kicking their feet up. And so brothers started saying, hey, boy, white girl the way to go, boy, hey. But a white girl got money. Cause we up there trying to eat. You trying to eat, your parents ain't sending you no money cause they in the struggle. And you up there playing football and you like, hey, well, these white girl got money, boy. They parents come from money. So that's what the whisper started to be. So, and the same with the Asian. You know, now the Hispanics, they pretty much was about like black people. Even though, you know, even though a lot of them was still racist toward black people, their situation wasn't much better than black people, you know, in Florida. And so, but some people just still think they better than other people. And this is a hard one to deal with now. This is a hard one, but this is just my experience. Your experience may be totally different where you from, and then some people gonna be blind to the fact of what really, and then some people ain't really live life, so they ain't hear nothing anyways. They ain't really hear nothing. But I remember the little boy, the young white boy, he said, man, where you got her from? Cause the white girl, she had on a bodysuit, like a full one-piece jean denim bodysuit, and she had a booty that looked like 2 little basketballs, and it was real, it was natural, it was hers, but it was because she was an athlete. She played volleyball, so doing all that jumping, it was like doing squats. You doing hundreds of squats every day, and she was on a travel volleyball team, and she played volleyball in college, so it had built her glutes, and so she had a different type of shape than even some black girls, but it was because of you doing hundreds of squats playing volleyball. That's why you see a lot of volleyball players built like that, to where it just be like, regardless of their color, a lot of them just, you watching them in college and pros, and they got a little, some of them, majority of them got a little shape on them, and it's because they doing squats all day long with their jumping. And so the little boy said that. I said, man, she from home. But see, now him, he was like 5'6". So he was attracted to her as a white boy. But the other white boys who could get white girls, they weren't attracted to her. Because she throwaway now. You know why she was throwaway? Because she was dealing with a black man. So when I talked to my white homeboy that I grew up with, that me and him have very real conversations. I say, man, how y'all feel when you see like a white girl, you know, like this, be with a guy like me? He said, man, we don't feel like anything because she white trash. I was like, huh? How she white trash? Well, her daddy, they house 5,000 square feet. College paid for. How she white trash? He said she white trash because if she'll deal with a black man, that's just, we see her as off limits. She white trash. I said, wow, what? Wow. But that's how you see her? So when I started to live life and I started to look around, I started to notice something. And I started to notice a trend. That the certain women that would deal with black men in their race, they were not as appreciated or coveted by their own race. But to a black man, they were a trophy because they were off limits to black men. So if a black man could get his hand on an Asian or a Hispanic or a white, that was a trophy to him because he knew that in the past, their men would kill him. Why was Emmett Till killed? Emmett Till was killed for, quote unquote, whistling at a white woman. And I believe they said that she later said she lied. Now listen, when was Emmett Till killed? August 28th, 1955. In Mississippi. Now I told you it would go down. After being accused of offending a white woman in her family's grocery store. Now listen now. This 1955. When I told you Brown versus Board of Education was 1954. So even after the country say, listen, we finna come together. We saying that segregation is unconstitutional. We coming together. Boom. This young man killed at the age of 14 years old. He killed. Now see, he was from Chicago. So he come from Chicago where up north was where it was more freedom. Yeah, it's still racism, but it's more freedom. So he coming down here and he like, hey, I see the old school players up there in Chicago. Some of them got them a white woman like the boxer. Remember Jack Johnson? Remember Jack Johnson, the boxer? And they said he loved, white women. He born in Galveston, Texas, died in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so you got to realize now, let me see what Irene looked like. Okay, Irene, I can't tell. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was only with white women. And this back in the day, Jack Johnson, she could have some black in her. She looked white to me. His fourth wife, Jack Johnson, was marrying white women. So you see some black men, they saw that. They like, hey, Jack Johnson doing it, but he was famous. Jack Johnson doing, I'm finna do it. And now see, the girl lied on Emmett Till. But I'm gonna tell you. How and why she lied. Somebody caught a glimpse of her flirting back with him. Somebody caught a glimpse of her looking at him, sending him little eyes, cause she knew he off limits. But she said, "Oh, you ain't from around here, cause this my little family store. You ain't from around here. Where you from? Oh, you from Chicago? Ooh, what? Ooh, bring me some of that. So she messed around, got caught by somebody, then she told that lie. And so it's so many black men that have went to prison over that, over being lied on by somebody from a woman of another race, getting caught with them in bed and then saying he did this to me, because they didn't want to be outcasted by their family. Now, some white people will tell you the truth and say, yes, that is true. My family has been racist. I've known family members who racist. Some will say, oh, I don't know what racism is. Racism doesn't exist. Come on now. We living out here in the world too. Now see, I'm not racist, I'm a realist. I ain't racist, I'm a realist. And so I share real life stories. Let the story shape what it's gonna shape, but I share real life stories with my kids. So see, so this is what you got to realize about these black men. Is he taking, and a lot of these black men, they hate themselves. And they want a woman of another race to put them on a pedestal. But the thing about it, what the women of the other race don't realize is that a man who hates himself ain't gonna be no good man. So on the outside looking in, you might look like, oh, he treat her like a queen because she Asian or because she white or because she Hispanic. But behind closed doors, she dealing with the brunt of his self-hate. She dealing with it. But see, what a man does is he get a woman to drop her guards and he get her close enough to where she feel defenseless. And then a lot of these women of other races who dealing with black men, a lot of them get cut off. A lot of them get ostracized by their race. And so they feel they on Gilligan's Island with this man. So when he flipped the script and he want to dog them out and cuss them out, a lot of these women of other races don't have nobody to turn to because their family done turned their back on them because they with a black man who these other races could see as the scum of the earth. Now, the exception to the rule is when a black man is at the top of his game. So if he educated, if he got money, if he's an athlete, I've seen situations to where I know this white man is racist, but because his daughter is dating a star football player or basketball player who is about to be a millionaire, their father make an exception. Well, we love our daughter and just whoever she's gonna love. We're gonna love her and whoever she's gonna love. Now, if she loved a average Joe Schmo black guy, babe, are you sure you want to do this? Listen. Not say, we're not racist, okay? We're not racist. Our housekeeper Rose is black. Rose has always been here. She's been here since she was changing your diapers. We are not racist now. But what I'm saying is the world has not changed. Do you see what just happened on the Capitol? All right? Like, listen, you're going to have a hard time out here, okay? And people are going to mistreat even your kids. When you have these grandkids and these grandkids walk around here mulatto, listen, I had a mulatto friend. Mulatto. I know the way we say it is mulatto, okay? Listen, I had a mulatto friend. He struggled because he used to tell me, hey man, I feel like an Oreo. And we played baseball together. When I tell you he was a heck of a baseball player, but listen to me. He said, man, I don't feel white enough for the whites and I don't feel black enough for the blacks. And it's like, babe, listen, I love you and I want to love who you love. And I'm going to love my grandchild, but I just really want you to think about this. If you want your child to have to go through that confusion, we're going to love them, okay? And I've met Jamal, and he's a great guy. But it's just, you really got to think about this. The world is still changing, and one day we're going to get there. But I don't know if I want to sacrifice my daughter for that progress. I don't know if I want you to be the martyr. And that's what it is. Now, if she dealing with an average, everyday black man, that's what we're going to say. Now, if she dealing with Devonta Smith, the Heisman Trophy one. Devonta! Hey, man. Hey, how you doing, Devonta? Hey, great game, man. I seen you hurt your hand at the end of the game. But, man, woo! Man, woo! He whispering to his wife, I cannot wait till they have kids. Can you imagine the athleticism of these grandkids? This real. Y'all don't want to hear it though. Y'all do not want to hear it. I apologize. Give me all the thumbs down you want to give me. But one thing about Tony Gasson, all I got to do is plead God. And I'm just expressing to you the state of humans. They're just real. Well, you might not like it because it might not make your race look good. And you don't want to believe that this happened in your race. But hey, all right. Black men might not want to, I know, I see this right here. And then this is the other time where I saw interracial okay when they both at the same economic space. If both of y'all live in trailers, and so let me tell you, the one white girl that I dated in college, that her parents did not care that I was black. They lived in a trailer. I didn't even live in a trailer. I live in a house, in a 3-bedroom house. They lived in a trailer. So it was kind of, and I was a football player on the football team. And listen now, and she was a little looks challenged. She wasn't the cutest thing since Wonder Bread. So what the feeling I got from her parents is like, hey, we just want somebody to love her. If you're gonna love her, hey, because it ain't no white man choosing her, and because she was not attracted to white men. She was not attracted to me, but she just kept writing me. And I'm in college and I ain't got nothing to do, and I was not no virgin. I lost my virginity at 15. I'm like, listen, I need something to do up here in West Virginia. I'm in West Virginia. I Googled West Virginia, they were like 1% black. I'm like, boy, it's finna be a long day. I'm finna be up here 5 years. I got kicked off the team after 3 years because I was so bored up there. I started selling drugs, robbing stores. I was just all kind of stuff up there. And so that was the sense that I got from her parents. It was like, hey. And they just was like, come on over, have dinner, spend the night. Y'all can sleep in the same room. Like, they were trying to get her married off. But me, I was like, listen, this ain't. And I remember this was a real conversation. My daddy said, he said, son, you know, I know you saying girlfriend. Because he had grew on me. It was against, we weren't allowed to do interracial dating where I'm from. But she grew on me. So I was trying to be open-minded. And my daddy hadn't seen her. My mama hadn't seen her. My sister hadn't seen her. My sister, she was a little more blunt. Like, Tony, that girl ugly. My mama, she really ain't want to say nothing. My daddy was like, son, I know you say that's your girlfriend, son, but maybe wait till you come back home. And like, he said, how would you feel if you come home and you go to the mall with her and you see the girls that's here and you see how they look, and then you compare how they look to how she look, and then you realize that she looked good up there because you don't have anybody up there. But when you come back home to the plethora, she might not look good here. And that don't mean nothing to me. I ain't worried about looks. I'm not shallow like that. All right, son, all right. But come to find out, the same way she picked me up in the library, she was loose booty. So she slept with 5 other black men. 4 of them on my football team. 3 of them in the backfield playing running back with me. And then 1 black guy from the basketball team. After that, I tried to find the blackest thing. I need a black woman. Whoa, but y'all white women. She really messed up, me and how I viewed her race. And that's how we stereotype. So a black man go rob a store, not all black men criminals. So this what's happening. A lot of black men feel so trash and less than that he think the Asian woman, the white woman, the Hispanic woman is better than the black woman. And so the black woman getting the lower end of the stick. And black men giving black women they butt to kiss, and then, trying to win and trophize women of other races. And some women of other races don't even realize that they seen as a trophy, and that once he get her in his grasp, he gonna dog her out. Some women don't even realize that, or don't even realize that they with a man who hates self. And that's not the case all the time. It's some exception to the rules. You're gonna have to go high and low, really far and wide to find it. Yeah, I got to go. God bless you.